What if I told you that you could retire right now? Not in 40 years. Well, today we're going to dive deep into the wisdom of the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. It's basically a guide to building a life of wealth and happiness, but completely on your own terms. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, Naval just completely flips the script on what retirement even means. See, for him, it's not about grinding away for decades just so you can finally live later. True retirement is a state of freedom, where you're no longer trading today for a tomorrow that isn't even guaranteed. That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? How do we get to that place of freedom without sacrificing the present? Well, Naval actually lays out a super clear framework, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so Naval gives us 3 paths here. Path 1, you could save up a literal mountain of cash so your passive income covers everything. Path 2, you could basically become a monk and slash your expenses to almost zero. Or there's path number 3. And this is the one that's actually doable for most of us. Find work that feels so much like play, you do it for free anyway. All right, so that leads us perfectly into the first big pillar of his whole philosophy: play different games. And the whole idea here is that winning isn't about being better than everyone else. Nope. It's about escaping the competition entirely by just being different. Think about it. The old way, the one we're all taught, is all about competition, right? It's this zero-sum game where everyone's imitating each other, fighting for the same scraps. But the new way? That's all about authenticity. It's about carving out your own little market where you're the only one in it, because nobody else can be you. And this right here is the absolute bedrock of Naval's philosophy. That weird, unique mix of skills you have, your personal experiences, your genuine passions, that's not just your personality, that's your biggest economic superpower. Why? Because no one on earth can compete with you at being you. It's impossible. Okay, so to really cash in on that uniqueness, you've got to play long-term games. And you know what the engine is for any long-term game? Compound interest. Now, we all get how this works with money, right? But Naval says, hey, apply that same thinking to your reputation and your relationships. Every honest deal, every time you deliver on your word, it compounds. So if trust is the currency in these long-term games, then how in the world do you build it? I mean, really build it. And just as important, how do you spot the right people to play these long games with? Well, Naval's advice is actually super simple, and it cuts through all the noise. You watch what people do, not what they say. Their actions tell you everything you need to know. Trust is built on a track record of consistent behavior. It's not about good intentions, it's about good actions. Okay, so you're playing your own game now, you're being authentic. That brings us to pillar number 2, earning with your mind, not with your time. Because let's face it, in today's world, your brain is the most powerful and scalable asset you've got. And check this out, he literally gives us a formula for wealth. Step 1, find your specific knowledge. This isn't about chasing what's hot. It's about that unique intersection of what you're genuinely curious about and what you're good at. Step 2, take that knowledge and play long-term games with it to build your reputation. And finally, step 3, you have to take on accountability. Put your name on what you do. Yeah, it's risky, but that risk is how you get equity and real leverage. You know, a huge piece of this earning with your mind puzzle is just making better decisions. And to do that, Naval's a huge fan of building a toolkit of what he calls mental models. These are just simple frameworks to help you think through complex stuff. Okay, here's a classic one for a world where we have way too many choices. The model is, if you can't decide, the answer is no. Think about it. This is a brilliant filter. It saves your energy and your yeses for the things you are absolutely, unequivocally fired up about. All right, what about those really hard choices? This next model is perfect for that. See, our brains are hardwired to avoid pain and seek comfort, right? Run uphill tells you to do the exact opposite. That hard path, the workout you don't want to do, the tough conversation you're avoiding, that's almost always the one that pays off big time in the long run. So let's say you do all this. You're building wealth, you're playing your own game, but what's the point? What's it all for? And that brings us to pillar number 3, which honestly might be the most important one, the art of happiness. Because wealth, that's just a tool. Happiness, that's the real prize. What I love about Naval's take on happiness is that he doesn't treat it like some mystical, fluffy thing. He sees it as a skill you can actually practice and get better at. And his formula is kind of like a 3-legged stool. You've got your health, your wealth, and by that he just means freedom from money worries, and your relationships. And just like a stool, if one of those legs is broken, the whole thing just topples over. Okay, so how do you actually build those 3 pillars? It comes down to this one mindset. Impatience with actions, patience with results. Basically, move fast on the things you can control. Start the workout today. Make the call now. But then you have to be incredibly patient with the results. All the good stuff takes time to compound, and happiness is no different. And here's a crucial point he makes. The word try, it's a cop-out. It gives you an excuse to fail. When you really, truly want something, you don't try, you commit. And that commitment is what sparks you to act right away. It's the difference between saying you'll try to get fit and actually having your gym shoes on. All right, this leads us to the final pillar. And this is the one that really ties everything else together. I mean, after all that work, building wealth and working on your happiness, you have to actually be able to enjoy it, right? And the only way to do that is by learning to live in the moment. And this is one of those ideas that's so simple but so profound. We spend so much of our lives stuck in our heads, either regretting the past or stressing about the future. But neither of those places is real. The past is just a memory, and the future, well, that's just fiction. The only thing that's actually real is right here, right now. This quote really reframes that idea in a powerful way. It means every single moment is a new beginning. It's a chance to let go of whatever happened before and just be here. It's a constant reminder to just appreciate the simple, amazing fact that you're alive, right now. Okay, so we've talked about being authentic, using leverage, finding happiness, and being present. That's a lot. So what's the one big takeaway here? What's the thread that pulls it all together? This is it, right here. You know that spark of inspiration you feel when you hear a great idea? That urge to change things? It's perishable. It has a super short shelf life. So really, Naval's whole philosophy is one big call to action. Don't just sit there and think about these ideas. You have to act on them. At the end of the day, this book isn't just something to read. It's a blueprint for how to live. You have a totally unique combination of skills and passions that literally no one else on the planet has. Your unique life is just sitting there, waiting for you to build it. And yeah, the best time to start was yesterday. But the second best time? That's right now.
Subscribe now for more book summaries.